This is the Cuesoul D8 dartboard light. Is it the best light system on the market? Could be. Let's find out. Hello Darts Nutz. So this is the Cuesoul D8 dartboard light system, and there's quite a lot of light systems on the market now, and I've reviewed quite a few of them. I think up to the present time, before this one, the Taurus 270 has been my favourite. This one might surpass that yet. I haven't actually tried it yet, but I've had a look at the site and had a look in the box, and it's got some neat features about it, so it could possibly be even better, but we'll see when I get it up. But you can buy these from the Cuesoul site. I don't know whether they're in any UK shops yet, but it retails around about £58. Kind of depends on the exchange rate, but when you do buy it from the Cuesoul site, you have to be sure that you pick the right country, because it only comes with the one plug for your country. They don't send multiple plugs, so make sure you click the right option if you're buying it. And like I said, it's got some neat touches, so let's check it out. Alright, just a quick look on the Cuesoul site, and as I mentioned, if you look where it says your choice, you have to pick which country you want, so it comes with the right power supply plug. And as it says on there, it's got 237 LED soft LED protect eyes. It's got the silicone strip running around, detachable, so you can take the LED strip off quite easily and take the ring apart, so it's portable. And you can adjust the brightness, so it's got pictures of the steel tip board and a soft tip board, and it's slightly angled, so it's focused more onto the board. Obviously it says shadowless, and it also shows you some assembly and de-assembly videos there, so in case you get stuck you can always refer to that. First of all, I have to say it's very nicely packaged in this gold box. I won't go everything it says on the back, because I've already done that in the info section. But like I mentioned about the buying it on the Cuesoul site, you have to make sure you get the right option for your country. And some people might think, why don't they just put all the plugs in like they do on others? But I actually think it's better that they put the specific socket in with the adapter, because I usually end up with all them other ones left lying around somewhere, or they end up getting thrown out. So why have extra things when you don't need them? But obviously that's the power adapter, and it comes with this neat little Cuesoul logoed switch there, and you push that in to turn it on, and then you move the wheel up and down, and the lights will change in the depending on the intensity of the light. And that's the LED light strip, and it's got a kind of like a silicon inlay there, so that obviously fits into the ring when you've got it together. And I actually think that's a good idea as well, because some of the light strips that I've had on some of the other rings, they've came off, so that one might stay in better. Obviously that's your instruction booklet, and you've got the 4 legs to attach it to the dartboard, so that's them. And you got the ring itself, which, as you can see, it's got Cuesoul, what does that say, headlights. So it feels like it's made of a pretty strong, tough plastic, like. I mean, I'm just trying to squeeze it there, and it's not bending at all, so it's very hard plastic. And the screws are for when you want to put the light on your soft tip board. So you got 4 brackets. These are the ones for the soft tip board. So you screw that into the little holes on the soft tip board. I might just try that just to show you. And these are the ones for the steel tip. And I'll just pull this off. It looks as if they actually go into the sisal on the board. So that's an interesting idea. So that's what's in the box, and we'll put it together. First of all, it tells you to attach the parts that stick into the board onto the arms of the ring light. So if you look, it's kind of like a notched system. So it just goes over there and pushes into that notch. So that's basically it. Right, it says on the video on the Cuesoul site you got to put the cable through there first. And then attach the arms or the rings, and you've got to kind of angle it a little bit. So it's a bit hard to do this with the camera in the way, but you just angle it in a little bit and it snaps in place. And then when you've got it all in, I haven't got it all in yet, but you just squeeze the LED strip into the groove on the ring, and basically that is it. So I'll put it all together now. Right, so I've got it all in now. Where these little like notches on nubs are, there's like a little bit on the inside where the light kind of clicks into the LED strip, but I think it's probably best if you start quite slowly from one end and just go round. I had to kind of pull it off again because I think I'd put it in a little bit too short at one end. So it is a little bit on the fiddly side, but it's not impossible. But like I say, there's good points and bad points about that. The fact that you can take the thing apart and put it all in pieces into a little bag if you wanted to transport it somewhere instead of carrying a big ring around. It's good in that regard, and it really doesn't take that much effort putting it together. It's just a case of being careful. But the good thing with the light LED strip itself, it's got that kind of like clear silicone cover, so that kind of like softens the light a little bit. Give you a close-up of the LEDs there, and obviously that takes a little bit of the glare away, but that's basically it. So now I just need to remove these, and as you can see, it's got almost like a dart point there, and that goes into the board. So I'll get it on the board now. Right, this might be a bit awkward for me because I've got the board on a clamp, and I think the number ring's going to be in the way, and I think because the clamp is there, I can't get the number ring to sit flat because of that. So I'm just going to have to work it on somehow, but it's not going to be going on straight. So basically you're just pushing them into the board, the what was it, spikes, points, whatever you want to call it. See, the number rings in the way there because it goes right flush to the edge on that one, but and it's awkward because I've got the bracket in the way there, so it could be a bit fiddly depending on how your setup is, but it goes in easy enough. In terms of the board, the spikes go in easy, and they do sit into the edge very flush. It's just like I say, the way I've got my board set up on the clamp, it makes it a little bit awkward, but anyway, I've got the cable plugged in. I think there's about 2.6 meters of cable, 2.65, somewhere around that, almost like 9 feet. So you've got this little switch here, so if you press it in, it lights up, and you can see there's red dots on the top, so that's the lowest level. I've got my other lights on here, so it may be taken away from it. I'll turn them off in a minute. But if you roll the wheel up, the lights turn blue. Don't know if you can see that or not. I'm trying to see if I can get in position to see, but and then that's the second level, and if you go up further, it turns green. And we all know that green is the best. So green is the strongest light. And then if you turn it off, press the button, it turns it off. And if you turn it on again, it starts at the way you left it off. So what I'll do is I'll turn the lights off in the room. Alright, every light is off now. The room's completely dark. Let's wait until the camera adjusts, I think. Right, so that's the highest level. That's the mid-level. And that's the lowest. So it does seem to be pretty bright. I don't think the camera's really showing it properly. I'll zoom in a bit. So it's on the highest again now. There's the mid, and that's the low. I'll give you a close-up of the board. Right, so I've stuck some darts in, as you can see, and at the moment it's on the low level, and I don't see any shadows. So I'll go to the mid level. Now we'll go at the highest level. So that's at full brightness, and definitely no shadows. So I think it probably is the brightest one I've got up to now. Obviously I haven't tried every light system, but see what it looks like from the hockey. Oops, something in my way. Only problem with the camera is you just can't get like the true impression without messing about with all the exposure settings and what have you. But I think it's really pretty bright from the hockey, so I think a lot of these things are subjective as well. Some people might prefer a kind of a warm yellowy light, which this one seems to be more like that, and then some people prefer a whiter, more intense light, but I think this one is actually pretty good. It's not too bright that it hurts your eyes, which is what the idea was, I suppose, and there's no shadows. It does what it says. So basically that's that. So what I'll do finally is I'll just do a quick go on the soft tip board. I'll see if I can get it fixed up to that and see what it looks like on that. Right, that's all you basically do, is you just screw it into the holes on the soft tip board. I only put the bottom one and the top one in just for now. But I'll turn this light off and that one, and now I'll switch it on if I can find the switch. So basically that's how it is on a soft tip board. I just did a quick comparison with some of the other lights on the market. I haven't got all the information, but obviously, as you can see, the Cuesoul D8 has got more LED lights, but I think on the case of the Taurus, the LEDs are slightly bigger. The Taurus is the only one that's 270. That's basically down to the name, and I think the Cuesoul one is the only one that's adjustable light, but you can buy a dimmer switch for the Taurus. I'm not sure about the others, and I think the Cuesoul is the only one that's soft and steel out of the box, but the Winmore Plasma, it fits to the wall, so it probably should work for soft tip as well. And in terms of the price, the Cuesoul one is the cheapest there, so there you go. So there you go, that's the Cuesoul D8 dartboard lighting system. Is it the best lighting system on the market? Well, it's kind of hard to say. It might be the best one that I've tried personally, but I haven't tried every lighting system that's on the market. I think overall it's probably the brightest I've tried. It was a little bit of a fiddle putting the thing together, but usually things like that are a bit fiddly the first time you do it, and also with the camera being in my way and trying to talk at the same time, it was probably not the kind of conditions I would expect other people to be doing it in, but it wasn't difficult, and I think the fact that you can take it apart might be a good thing for some people if you want to be able to easily transport it. And obviously when you've put it together once, the second time you'll put it together a lot quicker. I like the fact that you can also put it onto a soft tip board, and I do like the way it fits onto a steel tip board with the pins just pushing straight through. Obviously I had a little bit of a fiddle on the triple core board because, like I said, the clamp is on my wall and the clamp pushes the number ring a little bit, so it makes it a little bit awkward. But I don't think you'd have any problems putting it on any steel tip board unless you've got the same setup as me with a clamp. But even then it still went on and it stayed on. I do like the little control switch as well, the fact that you can cycle through different intensities of the light, and also the fact that the green was the top intensity with the 3 green LEDs. That was the best feature of all. Did I ever mention green's my favourite colour? I'm only joking. But from the hockey, I couldn't see any issues. There was nothing glaring in my eyes, and I couldn't see no shadows, and it just looked fine. So I can't really think of anything like truly negative about it, and there's probably more plus points than any bad points. So like I said, a lot of these things are down to the individual. Some people just don't like throwing darts with a light ring on. They think it's like throwing a dart through a tunnel, and they prefer a ceiling light or what have you. So it may not be for you anyway if that's the case. And some people, like I said before, prefer a whiter light. This is definitely more like a yellow. But I do like the fact that if it's too bright for you, you can obviously reduce the intensity, so that's definitely a good idea. And that is all I can think of really. So if you get one, let us know how you get on. It's always good to hear other people's comments, and it helps other people as well. So that is the end of the video. I'll see you on the next one. Happy darting.